I don't know about you guys, but it kind of warms me up.
Oh yeah, it does. Oh yeah, it does.
And I like that.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm John.
The 3 J's. And today we are reviewing Bottle Logic Brewing's Start. Now this is the last of their Konami Code series. It is a doozy. This is a double IPA, 9%. I will give you a little bit of a disclaimer. I tried this the day I picked it up. It's now been, I want to say it's been about 3 or 4 weeks now. When I first tried it, it was a little boozy, but now that it's been sitting a little while, I'm kind of curious to see how it pans out. So you guys ready to dig into this?
I'm ready.
Let's have some beer. Alright guys, well, beer is poured. Let's get into the aroma. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm definitely getting some citrus notes, like I get a lot of lemon peel, a little bit of orange blossom kind of aromas out of this. I'm still picking up the alcohol.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with that. I was kind of expecting that to go away.
Yeah, I mean it smells like you're about to drink a 9% double IPA for sure.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, some people, if they're gonna drink an IPA, they want it to be strong. So in that aspect, this may be a great beer for them. So.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and dig into it. See how it tastes.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers again.
I actually kind of want to talk about what this looks like. It's not the most hazy beer you've ever seen for sure. It kind of looks like an unfiltered West Coast, especially because I'm getting this one has a lot of particulates floating around in it.
Yeah, I noticed it in your glass for sure. But man, hey, you know what? The flavor?
It's good.
The flavor actually is picked up quite a bit.
Yeah.
The first time I had this, I remember telling John, I'm like, oh dude, this is a boozy beer. This is a really boozy beer. Now it's a lot more smooth.
Yeah, I remember tasting it when Jeff was like, oh, this is a boozy beer, check it out. I tasted it, absolutely boozy beer. Not as much now. Still 9%, you still get it.
Yeah, you kind of know it's still a 9% beer, but I don't feel like the alcohol flavor is outweighing the hops and the malts.
Absolutely.
And on that note too, I want to just discuss, the hop flavor is fantastic on this. You're getting a nice bitter flavor from start to finish. And I'm actually kind of surprised. It's not super resinous. I believe this technically is a West Coast style IPA. I think this is an unfiltered West Coast IPA.
That's what it's tasting like for sure.
Yeah, as you pointed out, it's not hazy. It's definitely, it looks like a West Coast IPA. It tastes like a West Coast IPA. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. What do you think?
It's definitely improved since the first time I tried it. I also got a pack of it, and I only have 1 can left just because I kind of wanted to see what this would age out to taste like. It is West Coasty, but it's also, there's a little bit something else to it. I think maybe just because of the unfiltered. Quite possibly, unfiltered Stone IPA is always people really enjoy the hell out of that.
Yeah.
So. I think this is kind of a bit similar, not quite identical, for sure. It's very different, but yeah, definitely more West Coast.
I love the malts on this, by the way. This is probably one of a few IPAs I've had recently out of a lot where I'm getting a strong malt presence, that nice, bready, toasty, almost doughy kind of flavor. And the hops lends really well to it. It's citrusy, it's slightly piney towards the finish. I mean, it's pretty well balanced. It's still probably a little bit more, that's what I'm looking for. The ABV kicks in there, like you can still kind of taste it. It's still a little bit boozy, but man, I mean, if you wanted to get thrashed, this is pretty drinkable at 9%. I mean, I got to give them that for sure. John, what do you think?
It's definitely a beer that I actually enjoy. I like the maltier type beverages, or maltier type beers. It's a double IPA. It's 9%. It's not as bitter. It's not as hoppy as most double IPAs, for me anyways. So I like the malty presence. I like the strong, like, bready, right, doughy taste. I also like the fact that it I don't know about you guys, but it kind of warms me up.
Oh yeah, it does. Oh yeah, it does.
And I like that. I'm a whiskey drinker, so I really enjoy that. I enjoy that feeling of warmth. I enjoy that malty presence. So it's actually a good double IPA, not necessarily what most double IPAs that I try taste like, right?
There's a saying that John has when it comes to stronger beverages, and well, I'll let you say it. I know what you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So I'm putting my alcohol jacket on. So that's really what's happening here, right?
Yeah, if you're feeling a little chilly, man, put on your beer coat.
That's right. And so this is definitely the beer for you, right? You're out at an NFL ball game or something, you snuck one of these in, it's cold outside, you're like, I'm gonna warm myself up with this double IPA from Bottle Logic. Perfect. There you go, right?
I love it. So let's get into the rating. Jacob, how would you rate the aroma on this?
You know, honestly, it's not very aromatic. It's not a bad aroma, like citrusy, piney notes, but you do get kind of that booze, and that's definitely a negative for me. I'd give it a 5, maybe. Woo!
Sorry, Bottle Logic. Ouch.
Yeah, they've done better. Like most of the ones before this were better. So.
Yeah, their Konami Code series, there were what, 5 releases of this?
About, yeah, and I remember getting the ones right in the middle and thinking, oh man, why didn't I buy these? So this is kind of lackluster.
Jeff, what do you think?
Well, for me, I definitely agree with Jacob. I mean, you're still getting booze on the nose. It's definitely not nearly as harsh as it was day one cracked open. The citrus and pine is there, and I love that. I mean, I'm a West Coast IPA kind of guy, so, I mean, in that aspect, I do enjoy the aroma. I'm going to give it a 7. It's good, it's not great. The booziness, got to dock some points, but, I mean, it is 9%. Got to keep that in mind. So yeah, I'd give it a 7. What about you, John?
So for me, the aroma, the citrus notes are not as powerful as probably I would want or expect. You know, like Jacob said, the booziness, the actual like alcohol, kind of takes over the aroma a lot. I don't know if I would necessarily say it's a bad smell, in my opinion, right? I like that smell.
Whiskey drinker.
Yeah,
whiskey drinker.
I like that smell, right? So
that's what she said.
now the smell is one thing, but if you actually like kind of put it up to your mouth a little and inhale that way, it actually brings out more of, not the citrus, but more of the booziness, right? More of that alcohol, and I like it. Like I do. I really enjoy it. Now, I like it, but it's a 9% double IPA. I was expecting more citrus, right? More hops. So even though I like it, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's my expectation. So I may like it, doesn't mean I want to give it a high rating because I was expecting something different from it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to probably give it like a 7, maybe an 8.
Okay.
So, but moving on to taste, what do you think, Jacob?
Okay, so for me, I think the brewery made this 8%. I think that was their fault. That was their bad.
9%.
It should have been 8. Oh,
Should have been 8.
what did I say? Oh, I
You
said
said
9.
made it 8%.
Oh, yeah.
Should've
So,
been 8.
so the brewery made it a 9% beer. I think it should have been an 8. So for me to say, oh, but it's 9%, I have to keep that in mind. No, I think you should have made it an 8%. Yeah, it's a double, but keep in mind, like, what do you want to emphasize?
Yeah.
For me, it's not the alcohol. So that kind of docks it for me. So I had one of my cans like maybe 1 week ago, and I thought it was really fruity. The one I'm having right now is less fruity than what I tasted a week ago. So I don't know if it peaked and now it's dropping back off, or what the situation is.
Yeah.
But this is kind of lackluster. Like I said, the other Konami codes from Bottle Logic were better than this. And even the newer ones that they just came out with was better than this. So this is kind of maybe a 5 or a 6 for taste for me. It's somewhere right in between there.
All
They
right.
can do better, and they've done better.
All right, Jeff?
Well, for me, I mean, it's still a good beer. I mean, I think it's drinkable. Again, this is an occasional beer. This is something where, as John was saying, if I went to a sporting event where I know I'm going to be outside all day, or all night, I should say, in a colder environment, I feel like this would definitely take the edge off and warm me up real fast.
Real fast.
This is not something I would want to drink casually. But I love West Coast IPAs,
For sure.
and I'm getting that. And you know what, Jacob, you're right. This probably would have been a much better beer at like a high 7, low 8 percentage. The booziness just kind of like filters out the delicious hops and malts, but they're still there, and I get them and I like them. So I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it like a 6 or 7. I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 because I'm drinking it. I like it. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. He's not pouring it out.
I'm definitely not pouring it out. That's blasphemy.
So for me, when it comes to taste, again, like I like this. I enjoy this type of taste. I enjoy the booziness. Could I sit here and drink like a bunch of this? No, I would end up,
Passing out on the couch.
yeah, I'd end up somewhere that
Good thing
maybe
you got
I
a
don't.
comfy couch.
I'd end up somewhere maybe that I don't want to be, right? But so taste-wise, I enjoy it, but again, double IPA. I got to go with Jacob and Jeff on this. 9%. I don't know if they were shooting for something less and they ended up overshooting, and it just ended up being a high gravity. I'm not really sure, or maybe they were actually going for 9%. I think, I don't know, Jeff and I were having this discussion the other day about IPAs. Once you kind of go above 8% with an IPA, it really does start to get just boozier, and it drowns out all the other flavors that you would expect of an IPA. And unfortunately, this beer actually like totally supports what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's a 9%, and it drowns out the citrus, it drowns out the hops, it drowns out, most of that flavor that you would want from an IPA. So, I mean, if you like IPAs and you like what a normal or standard IPA is, this may not be the beer for you.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're not going to get that same flavor. Now, if you enjoy a high gravity beer with a little, throwing in some orange peel and lemon in there, but you want to warm yourself up, get that alcohol jacket on, this is definitely a beer for you. So my rating is probably going to be more of a 7.
Okay, so we're kind of all in the same ballpark there. When it comes to would we ever buy this again, I'm going to keep it real short and sweet. I wouldn't buy this one again. I love Bottle Logic beers. They came out with another double IPA, maybe on the lower percentage scale, I would definitely buy it. But this one in particular, I mean, it's an occasional beer, but there are better occasional beers that I could probably throw into my to-go bag, if you will. Yeah, this one just, I mean, it just falls short for me, just a little bit. So, how about you, Jacob?
So, I'm a Level Up member. I've spent more money on Bottle Logic than you need to care about. I feel no shame in saying that I would not buy this beer again because they do far superior beers.
They
that
really
I could
do.
Be spending my money on.
Yeah.
So,
John?
Would I buy this beer again? Or would I buy this beer? Honestly, I probably would.
Well,
And I would because I know what it tastes like already, and I like what it tastes like. I'm not buying it because I'm like, oh, sweet, double IPA. I'm buying it because I know what's inside the can already, and I like it, right? I gave it lower ratings because I want to gauge it on what I actually expect of the beer, and I didn't get what I expected, but I like it, right? So I would definitely actually like buy this beer again.
cool. Well, at least one of us would. So there you have it, guys. This is a review of Start, the last canning series of the Konami Code from Bottle Logic Brewing. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. If there's a beer you'd like us to try, make sure you leave it in the comments below. Thank you, Jacob from Craft Cascade, for joining us today. And we'll see you guys next time on Let's Have Some Beer.